Speak to people in Tel Aviv about the hostages. CBS's Rami Inocencio.
Israel's military believes about 100 hostages, alive and dead, still remain in Gaza. With Sinwar's death, families and supporters of those hostages pressed Israeli leaders to bring them home.
Best case scenario, perhaps Hamas lets them go. But worst case scenario,
he kills them all.
Yeah, the State Department says Secretary of State Blinken and the Saudi foreign minister spoke about the importance of ongoing efforts to end the conflict in Gaza and secure the release of hostages. CBS Director of Surveys and Elections, Anthony Salvanto, says new CBS poll numbers out of Arizona show a relatively small lead for former President Donald Trump is driven by two issues.
We have Trump at +3 in Arizona. Donald Trump has an advantage for people who say both the economy and the border. It's almost 8 and 10 for Donald Trump.
In Georgia, Republicans say they are appealing a judge's ruling that invalidates 7 new election rules, including the counting of ballots by hand. A father and son face arraignment November 21st after a grand jury hands up indictments in September's deadly mass shooting at the Boys Georgia High School. WSB's Veronica Waters.
14-year-old Colt Gray faces a 55-count indictment for the Appalachia High School shooting. Charges include felony and malice murder for the 2 teachers and 2 students killed. Colin Gray faces a 29-count indictment, including charges of second-degree murder. The 54-year-old gave his son an AR-style rifle for Christmas, even though investigators say he knew the teen kept a shrine to school shootings in his bedroom.
U.S. shoppers spent more at retailers last month. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career path with flexibility, great pay, and benefits? Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS...
How would you like to be able to promote yourself, your business, or someone else's business for less than the cost of one 60-second commercial on many Tampa Bay radio stations? Here's the deal. You can have your own 1-hour radio program on the TAN Talk Network for less than the cost of one 60-second announcement on many Tampa Bay stations. Your program will be on 2 Tampa Bay radio stations and will cover 4 million people in Florida, plus worldwide on the internet in both audio and video. And you'll have a web link for your business on the TAN Talk 1340 website. We provide the producer, the state-of-the-art equipment, free production of commercials, and much more. Check it out today. Call Lola O'Brien, the Irish Hawaiian, at 727-510-7622. That's 510-7622. Call Lola O'Brien now, 727-510-7622. Call now and your 1-hour radio program can start tomorrow. Call 510-7622 for Lola O'Brien, the Irish Hawaiian, at the TAN Talk Radio Network.
You may be owed some money. After 911 and 411, call 541. That's 727-541-1741. Call Gulfstream Motorsports for a diminished value report. Due to my 28 years experience in the auto salvage business, I'm very good with wrecks. So if your car's been involved in a wreck, call me for a diminished value report. Call 727-541-1741. You may be owed some money for the lost value of your repaired vehicle. And visit us at GulfstreamMotorsports.com.
Hi, this is Paul Malloy, host of Freedom Works, The Paul Malloy Show. I hope you'll join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, here on the TAN Talk Radio Network, where we strive to bring you the libertarian perspective on political events of the day. There's no show quite like Freedom Works, with in-depth interviews, our ultimate top 10 list, and so much more. So join us for Freedom Works, The Paul Malloy Show, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 10 to 11 a.m. here on the TAN Talk Radio Network.
Listen to the latest pet trends with benefits on the Pet Buzz every Saturday morning. Join pet trendologist Charlotte Reed and veterinarian Dr. Michael Fleck as they talk all things pets. From animal health and wellness, money-saving tips, celebrity gossip, breaking news, and more. Their expert guests are in the know and in the now. To learn more about this unique program and its hosts, tune into the show on the TAN Talk Radio Network.
The Pet Buzz, Saturday mornings, 8 to 9 a.m.
Hello, this is the one and only Robbie the Shark. I want to welcome you to the new program, All Groovy, man. I just want a bunch of folks in front of my porch. Let's have a Coca-Cola, a sweet tea, or whatever your drink of flavor is, and let's just talk about life and how far we've come on the only 1340 WTAN TAN Talk. Life and how far we've come on the only 1340 WTAN TAN Talk Radio Network.
It's All Groovy with Robbie the Shark, Thursdays from 8 to 9 p.m. Listen at your own risk.
Tampa Bay
weekdays. Tan Talk, entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
Mama told me when I was young, don't sit beside me, my only son. Listen closely to what I say. If you do this, it'll help some sunny day.
Good evening. Welcome to It's All Groovy with Robbie the Shark. I'm Grigor the Barbarian. I'm sitting on the front porch, got the fire pit lit. We're ready to talk because it's all groovy.
It's all groovy.
Oh, yes, it is. Holy cow. I mean, not just a week. What are the last 2 days?
Well,
Oh, my dear God. Grigor the Barbarian, thanks for welcoming us to your wonderful fire pit.
yes.
And Cheryl was missing in action for a while, but she made it just on time.
No, it's not that I lost my phone. My phone was dead. It wouldn't turn on. Do you know how hard it is
Oh, it's a...
to be able to make phone calls? I didn't even have phone numbers.
yeah, because all you
I
know
don't
is
memorize them
you
anymore.
hit Robbie. You hit this, We don't memorize.
No.
And that's unfortunate, but that is what life is. And she showed up, and we usually stop next door and have something to bite to eat. So if you're nibbling on a French fry, please forgive her. That's what we do. We have a little snack before the show, and I'm not going to eat. She does. But anyways, Grigor, thank you very much, man. I was worried about you, too. You didn't answer when I called you earlier, man. Just been a freaky day. But I do want to bring something up very important before anybody decides what they want to talk about. You remember making fun of me about Rick Santorum? Grigor?
Yeah.
You said, he would get him on the show, right, Robbie? Man, I laughed, and I said, well, okay. And then I said, you know what? Trump was on Gutfeld. I said, I'm going to get him on my show. And, of course, everybody laughed. Well, I got a hold of the committee woman here from Largo, to Pinellas, to the chairman of the Republican Party of Florida, who may surprisingly call in tonight. I don't know. We haven't conversed. We're supposed to make arrangements, whether he comes in show next week or over the airwaves.
But they agree.
We're going to be discussing Amendment 3 a lot. I found out some information today. We'll get into that in a minute. It's just wild. But by the way, of the state of Florida, you understand, the whole state, this little schmuck, Robbie the Shark, Cheryl the Caretaker, and Grigor the Barbarian, and our good executive producer and station manager, Ed. Boy, oh boy, I said, Imus in the morning started here. He had to leave. God took him, and I'm bringing back 1340 WTAN. We're going to have powerhouse here. This is going to turn into a real program, which I think it already is. It's groovy just the way we do it. It really is. But no, they called me back 3 times, and they called me back tonight at 6:30, and I'm like, Cheryl's missing. I can't get a hold of her. And now I got Pam from Pinellas County Republican Party, RNC, calling me and getting my information and giving me, what's his name? Evan Power, I believe is the chairman's name. Yeah, Evan Power. And so she talked to me and said, boom, here, he is definitely wants to be on there. And I said, well, and she repeated my information, the show's phone number and everything, 727-441-3000, if you want to join the party at Grigor's Fire Pit.
Absolutely.
Call anytime. Everybody's welcome. I mean, that's the whole thing that makes it really a groovy show.
Mm-hmm.
And we listen to everybody. Doesn't matter if you're good, bad, or ugly. Whatever you got to say, because you're a human being. You're an American. But I just am stoked. We're moving up the line, and the Republican. She told me that yesterday second time she called me that it went to Evan's desk, and Evan took email directly to Trump headquarters about this show, and possibly, if not showing up, at least calling in. But he said, man, it's 3 weeks, Robbie. You know that probably ain't going to happen. I didn't know it ain't. But January the 20th, that's election day, or inauguration day. January 23rd. I think you can bet on it now. Just like I told you, Steelers will win the Super Bowl. Donald Trump will be sitting where Cheryl's at. January 23rd, accepting the presidency. If only if she gives it up. She might force him to sit over there. But I'm not kidding, man. Of course, that's lots of grandeur to actually get Trumpy here. But if I already got that far in 2 nights, not more than 20 minutes of phone calling, I'm stoked. My head's going to explode. I'm retarded. But Jimbo always said, Grigard, he's always said, Robbie, you just can't make it up. It doesn't happen to anybody else, these things, but you are a weirdo. And I can't disagree. Any rate, we'll get to Amendment 3 first. Grigard and Cheryl, you got the stage right now. Bring up what you want to talk to. I'm going to sit back and just go... After this storm and all we've been through, holy cow! Yeah, we got to talk about that.
Oh, these storms! Oh my gosh, yeah, that was crazy.
Oh my god!
Just to see, when you go to a Chevron and you see those big overhanging, it's a ton of steel, and they go over the gas tanks. That was flipped like nothing, flipped right onto its side, torn apart. Mother Nature's like, bet. It was like,
you didn't see that, which surprised me. It was worse for Helene when Indian Rocks Road there. We were waist deep down there, 23 feet below me because I'm 23 above sea level. But this time, the water, I guess, it got sucked out because we were at the top north side of it. Well, the south side is called the dirty side. That's where it comes in. This takes it all out. But right across from our Michael's convenience store, the seawall broke out. He lost his pickup truck in the water.
There was a car too.
But me, myself, I'm getting some help. Sugar Plum, and it started way back with Debbie having water come up, not know where it's coming from. And more with Helene, and then we had that storm come through, and before the hurricane hit, just hours before, the bedroom was 3 inches deep.
Yeah, and it's like
the living room was coming up under the couch. Apparently, my place is built on top of a swimming pool.
That's
or
the
a swamp,
conclusion.
because I'm 23 feet above sea level. They had us in evac area, but realistically, you're 23 feet above sea level, 15-foot surge, you're not going to get hurt. But every single rain now, it comes up through. I think the swimming pool is full.
And we got flooding going.
Well, we have 18 inches just this month. In October, I think we usually get 1. And Mike the Weatherman, if you're listening out there, you became friends with me on Facebook, and he's somewhere from here in Pinellas County. Guy's really good. He's the only one besides me that got the storm right. I said 8:30, no later than 9 o'clock. It was here at 8:47. But anyway, what I say is my place is full of mold. Lost all the power. We didn't get, the first one, we didn't get the bedroom back.
Right.
Now we got no bedroom, we got no bathroom, and no overhead fan in the living room. So there's obviously hazardous electrical problems going on. And
absolutely.
St. Vincent de Paul stepped in. And tomorrow they're giving me a phone call, let me know
now,
what
Grigard,
hotel
what would you expect
to.
your landlord to do if you were in a situation like that? What would you expect?
It wouldn't have been nice.
No, right.
The landlord had nothing to do with it, though. I had to go through the VA to get this done.
That's crazy.
He
the
was doing
landlord
nothing.
tells us, Yeah, the maintenance guy, his car's broken down. when it's fixed, he'll be right there.
And that was with the air conditioner back in June.
Right.
Still haven't got that.
I haven't seen him since June. I know.
But that's another issue. But St. Vincent de Paul came through, and I don't know, they call them HUD bash because, yes, I do get help from HUD. I'm on disability check. I don't make much money. I'm not homeless anymore, but I feel like I am because of what I'm living through. But I'm waiting to see. But they're going to, through the Air Force and something else, which I'm retired from the Air Force. That's where I got my
disability.
First got out. Anyhow, I'm
retirement.
Right? No.
3 words sounds like.
Shush. I got my first honorable discharge.
Okay.
So that's why I go back to that. But they're going to send some money for the clothing and the towels and the blankets and everything we lost.
Did you know that we get all that food that we had to throw away?
Oh my God.
Do you know that we get it back? I didn't know this.
Somebody sent me a program too about there's another FEMA program that I can tap into.
Yes, that we get our food.
But I've been reluctant because I'm a renter. And it's like,
I want my food money back.
I don't own the joint. I'm not going to,
True.
What do I deserve? But I do deserve. I lost a lot.
Yes. That's like $500 worth of food that we threw away.
Just gone.
Yeah.
And I was so worked up during the storm. You all know I have PTSD and I'm bipolar. Well, here I am in the dark, 6 nights alone, right? And I'm crying towards the end of it. I haven't had a hot meal since before the storm comes. I have a gas stove.
He totally forgets.
My neurons were firing all kinds. I didn't
too.
have the show last week. Had to do it on Facebook. And thank you for all you Facebook listeners who tuned in for Top 3 to beat the bookie. Only 2 minutes and 2 seconds. And by the way, we'll get into that later on in the show. But 3 for 3, huh?
Yeah.
Look at that. We're back on track. Of course, the week before I went 0 for 3. So,
you win some, you lose some.
But it's into 6 weeks, and which is 1/3 of the season, 18 weeks. You're sitting at 65%. Walk away, or listen to me just to make fun of me, which is fun too. And if you want to make fun of me, please call 727-441-3000. I enjoy being picked on. It's a fun part of my life. But I'm babbling here. Let's that's one of the reasons I talked to the Pam about the RNC, and this is why they really want to talk to me too about the Amendment 3, Sugar Plum. No, I don't want to start that yet. I'm going to just look at the clock because it's going to take longer. I'm going to go take care of Amendment 3 here when I take my medication. It's going to be 8:20 here shortly, so we can't do that.
But me and Grego get to talk about this?
Well, yes, you will talk about it. But before we go to medication break, this segment is brought to you by Sunshine Chauffeur Service 527-RIDE. That's RIDE 727-527-7433. Local airport, casino and charters, personal car services for all beaches. These people are fantastic.
They're awesome.
They treat you like they're their next door neighbor. And think about this: 1,000 rides or 1 DUI. Average ride is $10. Average DUI is 10,000. And they'll be gladly serving you. Will be Deanna, Mike, Kimberly, and Pastor Bob or Ben. Over 10 years of quality service, established in 2011. I'm going to tell you what, they don't treat you like a tourist.
No.
You live here.
Yeah, you're family.
We know where we got to go. We know what it costs. We're not calling these jitney services. I'm not going to mention them by name. You know what I'm talking about.
Highly recommend.
Or the other so-called taxi companies. Sunshine Chauffeur Service. That's why I messed it up. They really, they make me feel special. The other day, they took me down to watch the Steeler game down at Goose's, and I forgot to charge it from my phone. I had no power, so that's why I had to go to the sports bar, and I'm like, Sugar Plum. And it was a $7 ride. I gave her $12. I says, fair tip on. She says, I said, yeah, I guess that is. That's a pretty damn fair tip. And then I'm looking for my bag, and I'm like, oh, my God, I forgot my charger. She wouldn't take a nickel. She took me back home, $7 ride, back to the sports bar, $7
Yep.
ride. So it's $21 her cab should have made, and she got 22.
Mhm.
And she said, "Don't worry, Robbie. We love you. You're good to us." And that's the good folks at Sunshine Chauffeur Service, 527 ride here in Pinellas County, 727-527-7433. It's 8:21. I'm 4 hours past. It's time for a smoke break. We're going to turn it over to Griegar and Cheryl after Smoking in the Boys Room.
Everybody knows they're smoking it loud. Taking out the heart, making sure the coast clear. Looking at the stars, now there ain't nobody here. My buddy says, make the town. Take off, will surely be the death of us all. Smoking in the boys' room. I'm smoking in the boys' room. And teaching on to feel me up with the rule. Everybody knows they're smoking it loud.
All right. We're here.
All right.
What's up?
Well, I was pretty impressed with Ron DeSantis' reply about what was going on down there. He's in charge, and he'll tell FEMA where to go, and he'll use the federal government when need be, but he's in charge.
Good.
I was really impressed with that.
Good. Well, we were slammed pretty hard. I had
Yeah, you were.
I had a girlfriend on the first storm that she would just describe how she was sucked out of a boat. How Mother Nature sucked her out, threw her around like a rag doll. And it was just, you just have no idea what you're messing with. Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy.
Well, what do you know about that story with that guy on the boat, Lieutenant Dan?
Exactly. Bring it on.
He said Noah was the only one on the boat when the flood came, and he was the only one that survived.
Yep, exactly.
That guy was downright crazy.
Yep.
I've seen them pictures from Helene with all the boats all over
Yep.
the street down there.
They were like, it just spit them right out. I mean, it was crazy. I remember, the neighbors across the street all flooded. I mean, it was crazy. And to have two back to back. We go hundreds of years without one.
Well, that wasn't that bad. Yeah.
Well, both of them were equal. I mean, the second one, the wind was bad. The wind was whipping around. And here I am with my best friend on an e-bike. No.
Well, that is the worst part is the wind and the surge. So
Oh, yeah.
those two things combined make quite a mess.
Yep.
And, Florida is, the whole damn thing is a swamp. So, that
swamp.
doesn't help things. The ground gets saturated really
Yes.
quick because, the water table's not that far down under you. It's
That's true.
mostly swamp.
That's true. That's true. That's true. All I know is is hurricane season over now? Or is it
No.
still until November, right?
Yeah, it runs for a while. Yeah.
Okay, I won't say anything yet. I was hoping it was over.
No, y'all got a few more weeks.
Yeah, I'm not. No, I'm good just the way it is right now. We've already had it. Now the weather's cooler. Our weather's cooler. That's probably why we're a lot happier too. We can wear.
It's about 50 degrees right now up here.
Say what?
50 degrees here.
50?
Yeah, it goes down into the 40s at night.
Yeah, it's a bit cold.
We had a few days in the mid 50s, and because it was cloudy.
Right.
Sun's going to be coming out. We'll reach 60s and 70s in the next few days, but the nights go down into the 40s and 50s.
Well, that's cool. So, what are we supposed to be? What are we supposed to be talking about as far as Amendment 3 and Amendment 4? Because now that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, okay, no on 3 and yes on 4. So, do you know much about what's worded?
I just thought it's about marijuana, and I don't like the government involved in anything.
No.
So,
well, because it's like
if I
big
could do it
pharma.
myself, I'd rather.
Right. I don't want them telling me how much or them putting in what they think.
Okay, so what is 3? Explain 3 to me.
Well, 3 is the that's for marijuana, legalizing or making it recreational. But to me, recreational means I should be able to grow it, right?
Oh yeah, that's part of the recreation.
Right, but that's not the case here. So that's why, you know, I want to be able to grow my own. I want to know what I'm putting in. You know, I want to be able to grow it. So
yeah, well, the government can't tax it if you're growing it.
Well, then go
See,
tax
it's all
something else.
about the government stealing money.
They tax
It's all about the
everything.
money.
They're always
Yeah.
taxing something here.
Yeah, well, that's, you know, if they can't control it and they can't tax it. So if you're growing it at home, they can't tax you on it. They can't get a piece of the pie.
Well, then
So
wait
they
until I
want you-
sell it. Then they can
Well,
tax
yeah,
it. But if I don't want to sell it, don't tax it. It's mine
No,
for my recreational use.
No, they got to get a piece of the pie. So what's 4 about then? If
4
3
is an abortion law, and that's a little tricky because it saves or it protects women as far as being raped. I'm guessing, and having a child and being able to have that services done, but I'm not 100%. I got to look a little more into it. But the more I keep hearing about it, the more, you know, you tend to see the commercials and how they're portraying it. One's fear factor, one's, you know, you can kind of tell what the truth is. And it just seems like it's a yes for me. So, but I'll look more into it. We still have, what, a week or 2? No, we got a couple weeks. How many weeks until 3?
November 5th.
November 5th, right.
19 days.
Yep. Cool.
So about 2 weeks.
Yeah, so we have time to still talk about it. Do you know anything about the 4th?
The problem with abortion is that 99% of the abortions performed, over 99, like 99 point something or other, are elective.
What do you mean?
Meaning that it's not a necessary procedure. These young ladies are using it as birth control. Some of these women have had 3, 4, and 5 abortions. It's disgusting, in my book.
But you can't judge.
If you have a medical condition and there's a situation, like you said, rape or whatever,
right?
I may not agree, but
And that's
I'd have
fine.
to the other way on that.
That's
But
fine.
the other 99% that are just saying, well, geez, I don't know if I can afford this. I don't know, blah, 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 blah. You made your choice. I'm pro-choice. You chose to lie with the man, and now you got pregnant. Deal with it.
Hey, Grigor, I'm back, and I'm going to go back to Amendment 3 in a minute, but I'm going to continue right where you're at because I've been researching this. Very difficult. They're so vague. I mean,
Very vague.
and this is the full text. No law shall prohibit, penalize, delay, or restrict abortion before viability or when necessary to protect the patient's health as determined by the patient's health provider. This amendment does not change the legislature's constitutional authority to require notification to a parent or guardian before a minor has an abortion. They give you an explanation and I cannot find what actually want to get to the legislature's desk.
Well, I find it offensive that they call it health care.
Well, exactly. Exactly. I mean, by your healthcare provider. And I see commercials where they're talking about, if the woman is raped, she has to have it, can't do it. And if it involves her health, this doctor says he could go to jail if he has an abortion. No, you can't. The law already states that. I mean, it's reasonable. If somebody in the hood shoots somebody, wife who is, or even in a car wreck, DUI, whatever, it's considered a double homicide. I think even before the first trimester, but definitely during the second trimester, that's murder. Okay, so, and that's what they talk about, viability. I'm on the ledge about this because I've heard that from some of the advertisements, and let's face it, and I'm going to tell you about that, exactly what it is. Both squat, and we'll do it right so I don't get yelled at, but I like getting yelled at, so I don't care. That's exactly what it is. Both squat, and we'll do it right so I don't get yelled at, but I like getting yelled at, so I don't care. They talk about that it's a child, or excuse me, the up to the patient's healthcare provider. So if your daughter is 16 years old, she gets knocked up, 15 years old, even whatever, and the healthcare provider that the schools will provide, they can say, for your safety, we want you to get it. But also say that it does require to get a hold of the parent or guardian. So I don't know. There's somebody lying and cheating and stealing in this. And when it gets back to it, they're talking about, I think Michigan did this a few years back, almost the same amendment. Mm-hmm. And then they got it put on the ballot where they got the people to pay for it. Hey, if you want to do that, it's between you and your God. Mm-hmm. I had to do it one time. I was against it, but before was blessed with my twins, I had to do it. Didn't like it. That's between you and your God. Don't make me pay for it.
Of it is because of a health-related situation. The other 99% is elected, meaning you had a choice.
Exactly. And I'm sorry, but you know what? I think I forget how many weeks Florida did was 12. I think I should give a couple more weeks, maybe. Because sometimes, Gabby, our friend Gabby, she didn't know she was pregnant until she was already at her third trimester.
That I don't understand whatsoever.
She's so skinny little girl, she didn't even know. She thought she was just getting fat.
That even confuses me more because when you are,
normal people, but we know Gabby's not normal. I hope you're listening out there, Gabby.
He said it, not me.
My crazy Romanian friend. Let's get back to commercials now and switch away from this depressing amendment.
Right.
We'll talk about that. But I've been watching, the Amendment 3. I think we talked about that a couple of weeks ago where they come out and they show the dude is like, yeah, we're passing Amendment 3. And he goes into his shed and he brings out his dirt and his soil. And the dude standing there and says, what are you doing? And he says, well, I'm planting my own. No, you're not. We have control. And they do. I look at one back up here in a minute. I'm not going to get specifics. We don't need to, because trust me, I'm right. I'm right. Now, I'm watching. I am. Trust me. I'm watching these commercials, and there's a guy, what's his name? Morris Young from Gadsden County. And imagine, he's from Tallahassee. Okay, that Gadsden County, I don't know if that is actually Tallahassee, but I looked it up on the map, and it's nearby. So understand that. But he says... he's voting yes for marijuana. And in case you didn't know, I'm voting no. I think you'll get the gist of that in a moment. But he says he's voting yes because it'll stop fentanyl-laced marijuana.
Fentanyl has nothing. I mean,
what retard sells it that way? None. Now, in a trap or crack house, they're going to mix them. They don't care. They're doping it up. They
do it all the time.
but you don't buy it that way. And I'll tell you what, during a hurricane, holy crap, does the good stuff come out. I don't buy medical anymore. I buy it over the counter. It's 0.3% THC and puff. I'm good for 4 hours. Puff, good for 4 hours. Keeps me pretty unanxious. Not anxious, the anxiety you don't want to see. I'm still an anxious person, but I can laugh at me. But this guy is pushing for it. And I'm like, okay, a sheriff yet. Interesting. And then I'm watching, and what's it? Grigor knows his name. Grady Judd, Grady Judd, who hey, why did you stop shooting the guy that was shooting at the police officers? He said, because we ran out of bullets. And I just seen this commercial today, and saying that so many domestic violence cases, marijuana is involved. And I'm like, bull, no. Usually on pot, you're usually peaceful.
Yeah.
But then again, you might be fighting over, babe, bitch, you're smoking my stash, That could happen. But it's deeper than other stuff.
What they fail to tell you is, he was smoking joint after he drank 12 six-packs.
Exactly, yeah. He had 12 Stonies and a couple of Jägermeisters, and then he smoked some doobies, and he's like, okay, I'm chilled out now. Now you're going to screw me, woman? And boom, blows up. And the other way, too. Women beat up men these days, do, too. Not take it the other way whatsoever.
Right.
So anyways, back to the Republican chairman of the state of Florida. This is what we were hoping to discuss tonight. But, of course, I didn't get the phone call till 6 and called him at 6:30. And
we'll be called.
So maybe next week we'll be in, and he'll clarify this for us. But I do know this. This is a fact from reading it. I don't know. Sure, look it up for me. Amendment 3 or whatever.
Oh no, I can't see it.
Yeah, you can't see. You're good. You're good as me. Anyhow, he is so for it. It ain't good. I have medical, and it went to hell in a handbasket. It's no good anymore. That's why I smoke the over-the-counter stuff.
They're for it because of the money it brings in.
That is very,
That's why they
very
have
true.
to control it because of the money. If you were to grow it at home, they can't get their hands on the
Like
money.
Big Pharma.
There's no money involved if you grow your
It's
own.
another big pharma.
Exactly. And that promotes competition, because all the stuff you get on the market now, even the medical, you choke like a dog. If you puff it 3 times, you puff it 2.5. It's horrible. You don't want that. And then you eat the gummies. You got to eat like 5 of them. That's just ridiculous what you're spending.
If you grow it at home, you're going to cultivate it properly. You're going to make some chronic hydroponic.
Yeah, you're going to buy Grigor the Barbarian stuff because it's smooth, like the old cigarette advertisements, whatever, the Marlboro Smooth, the Marlboro Man smokes this, and it's good. You enjoy it. And it takes care of your medical things. But anyways, back to this commercial. What I did find, I had to do a bunch of research, but it's through Zero FDOT or whatever. And all these other sheriffs, Grady Judd, when I saw Grady Judd, I'm like, Grady Judd, they don't say whether they're for it or against it, but they discuss how it causes more accidents and about children smoking it and living through it. But then again, I got hit in the baseball bat when I was 9, and I think smoking at age 12 was a good thing for me. But obviously it's not. And then they warn about mothers smoking it when they're pregnant. What do you get to smoking a joint when you're pregnant? Or a cigarette, or even have a beer? What are you, stupid? But I take that, but they're like, take that. That'll take it. You don't legalize it so that we can have more control of it. And then the other people from Tallahassee are telling you, let us make it free and everybody can buy it. And then they will control it. So you'll go from just like back in the day. I remember that. What was that stuff they sell on the street? Spice. When Spice come back out, but back in the day, oh my God, $5.
Sure.
Sugar plum, man. Now that would last you 2-3 days, $5. But then it was illegal. So then what the company did was they changed the chemicals and took this one out, replaced it with that one. Eventually, when you smoked it, I think I went to the hospital one time. I did. It was like, what? They said, what'd you smoke? And I'm like, ooh. That's what it was. And so now you got your government's fingers in here who say they're going to protect you. They're not going to protect you. This is all about money. And remember, now, Grigor, I'm going to talk over you for a minute here because I don't want to forget this. Morgan & Morgan put this out 2 presidential election cycles ago. It failed. Then it passed for overall free use of marijuana in the state of Florida, just like Colorado. And my Republican National Committee people say don't want to wind up like Colorado and Seattle. That's why they're against it. But I digress. They want total control. They gave us medical and not future marijuana where everybody can smoke it. Now they have the contract. What does it say here? Adult personal use of marijuana allows adults 21 years or older to possess, purchase, or use marijuana products and marijuana accessories for non-medical personal consumption by smoking, ingesting, or otherwise. Allows medical marijuana treatment centers and other state licensed entities to acquire, cultivate, process, manufacture, sell, and distribute each product and accessories. Applies to Florida law, does not minimize or change federal law, establishes possession limits for personal use, allows consistent legislation, defines terms, provided effective date, blah, 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 and it says less to shorten here on it. So in other words, the first commercial does say you cannot grow your own weed. All you need is one big bush and you won't be buying nothing from the new big pharma, what are they called? Pfizer.
Ow.
I'm going to say that right without the FCC getting mad. It's Pfizer. Is that
no, it's Pfizer.
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 No, it's Pfizer. That's yeah. And Eli Lilly, them guys, they control all that. But now we have a new cartel owned by people here of the United States of America screwing you.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, whoop, whoop. Okay. Hey, how about that, man? You know what? And I'm not going to mention what I'm going to mention, but I want to, but I can't because I don't want to get somebody in trouble. But I will never, ever buy Bud Light. I will never, ever shop at Target. And I will never, ever buy a Lay's potato chip product. Did you see the Doritos commercial?
Are you asking me? Are you asking this question? Did we see the
Mike's
Doritos?
open. Robbie's backing away.
I don't understand the question. I'm confused. I'm
You
lost.
didn't see the Doritos commercial?
No, I did not.
Oh, really?
Which one?
Wow, they got this lovely young lady, and I'm not sure she's some sort of representative or something. That's actually the one. I'm not going to put. I don't want to print that picture in your face, but let's just put this picture because I want to add to it. She is on her knees.
Okay.
And the woman standing in front of her is placing it upon her tongue.
Placing what?
The Dorito chip, the wafer, if you will.
So she's putting it in her mouth.
Now, who gets on their knees every Sunday and takes a wafer in their mouth? It's the Catholics.
Yeah.
It's the body of Christ. They have nerve. I thought I had balls.
I'd have to hear that from them.
Oh, yeah. You want me to? I can't
Yes,
play the
please call
commercial in
Pepsi.
here.
Yeah, there's a video of it. She's, I forget her name, but she's the representative. And, yeah, the lady drops to her knees and she puts the Dorito in her mouth like the Eucharist.
Wow. I have not seen this one. I'll have to see it.
Here, just a simple image.
Yeah.
You tell me what that makes you think of.
Which one? Communion.
Yeah, they're both supposed to be together.
Communion.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
They're making fun of communion.
Oh my gosh, whip them.
Michigan governor or something or other, what is there?
Lock them up.
But I don't know where the camera's at. I'm sure you probably can't see because it's a little small picture. But look it up, man. And Doritos
Doritos should know
Catholic
better.
commercial. And
Well, it wasn't a Doritos commercial.
Mm-hmm.
It was on a talk show or podcast or something. It wasn't a Doritos commercial.
See, I
But
didn't
it
think
wasn't.
so. I'm gonna go look.
You know, these people have no religion. Their religion is government.
Yeah, correct.
And, you know, they believe that your rights come from the government, and they don't. Your rights come from God. Natural law. Your right to defend yourself comes from God. Your right to free speech comes from God. Not the
Excuse
government.
me. First time today.
See, I mean,
A lot of people refer to it as natural law, nature's law.
Yeah, exactly what it is. If you don't want to use the word God, nature's law. Because people are people no matter where you're at.
That we're all endowed with inalienable rights, meaning they can't be taken away. Inalienable rights given to you by God, not anybody else. The government can't take them rights away from you. They're given to you by God. Every person possesses these rights. And unfortunately, these wackos and woke people believe that their rights come from the government, and they laugh at the idea that it comes from God because they can't read the Constitution, because they can't write cursive, because they don't teach that in school anymore.
That's done intentionally.
People are unable to read the Constitution in its original form because it's all written in cursive.
No, what did you say? Remember that from Cheers, Gregor? I know you're a couple of years younger than me, but Woody, the bartender.
Yes.
He was reading, because when you read the cursive from the original Constitution, I think the letter P is actually an S or something. I forget. It's been so many years. And he was pronouncing the words wrong, but you still understood it.
Right.
You know, but yeah, it's like hieroglyphics to these kids. They don't know. However, I have heard that the young generation now, the teenage class, if you will, are becoming very staunch conservatives that believe in America. And I saw something, and I've seen it often on Facebook about, you know, we need to bring the Bible back to school.
They've been lied to their whole lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've grown up, you know, in the last 20 years of constant lies. Being lied. And then, you know, a few months later, you find out, oh, wow, that was the truth. And then another lie comes through a few months later, comes by. Oh, wow.
That's like these mask people. They're ashamed to admit that they were wrong because, just like I admitted that I had a gas stove and didn't realize it. Okay, so I was stupid. Sometimes we get stupid. Admit it. Wake up. They actually have a couch for sale right now. Do you see it?
No.
It's a 3-seater couch, 3 cushions, and they have seatbelts on it. And it's for those who wear masks in the car.
Oh, okay. That's funny.
I saw it on TV or on the Facebook. So it cracked me up.
That's
I still see that up here in Pittsburgh. People driving around in the car by themselves with a mask on.
I seen one yesterday in a store. I'm like, really?
Yeah, I can see through still, but it's
that was the VA.
That's just too much.
Oh boy, did the VA screw me over.
Why? How?
Yeah, that's one thing I am mad about Trump from. He screwed up the VA because he stupid, didn't understand the nepotism involved. So you kept the sorry ass people, not the good ones. My medication, one of my medications, is a pill that I take. It is a Eli Lilly or Pfizer or whoever it is. I don't know who makes it, but it's for seizures. I'm epileptic. And if I don't take those for 3 days, I will have a seizure. Last one I had, I broke my nose. And me and Jesus spoke, and he said, I ain't done with you yet, Robbie. And not too far after that is when I got my own show on the radio, but I digress on that. I was trying to order through what they call My Healthy Vet. Couldn't get on.
Why?
Phone calling from, I don't know, Helena. After it came, like, okay, you're probably, you're short-staffed right now, whatever. But, and 2 weeks later, Milty comes, and I'm like, dudes, I'm out of meds. I had to scream and holler at my psych. They now that my psych meds that I don't take anymore. I lied to the VA and say I take them because if I don't take them, then they'll get mad at me and they won't pay for nothing else. Blah, blah, blah. It's stupid regulations. I don't take them. They don't do nothing. They're a waste. I don't have to even order those. They just show up at my door. I have to order the ones that keep me alive every month. Why is that? I think because they owe me lots of money and don't want to pay me.
The government
I think
program.
too much. It's a government program, and they know what they owe me.
Doesn't matter. It's a government program. They're going to screw it up.
Well, finally, and I have to admit, my HUD-VASH guy, he took me to the VA to pick up my emergency meds, and I got my second set of meds, so I'm good for 60 days now. Don't have to worry, which is such a relief. I mean, because I know it's going to happen. And they're not fun. And you know when they're happening. They say, and oh, God. And you feel your eyes starting to roll. And
my eyes are starting to roll forward.
And oh, God. And you feel your eyes starting to roll. And
my eyes are starting to roll forward.
You don't know what the heck is going on. And you're flipping all over the floor and the ground, breaking your nose. By the way, have you ever see anybody do that? The thing about the tongue, don't do that. What you want to do is try to put your hands under their head. Create safety so it doesn't bang his head or face. That's what you want to do if you happen to see somebody have one. And talk to them nicely. Hey, hey.
Yeah.
When I got cut at the hospital at work,
what?
They asked me, they says, Robbie, you know where you're at? And I said, well, looking around, I have no idea really, but I don't want to say that, right? And I said, well, since you're a nurse, and you have a stethoscope,
I'm going to guess.
Think I'm in the hospital. And they said, matter of fact, right before that, they asked me who the president was. And I stumbled on that for a second. And that's when, matter of fact, right before that, they asked me who the president was. And I stumbled on that for a second. And that's when.
Yep. Mama Kid.
No, Obama was still in charge.
Okay.
Which, by the way, have you noticed? And I love this about my bad mental health. Kamala is wearing the Avon A1 earrings all the time.
Oh my gosh, we're back on
They
the
do
earrings.
not come off.
We're back on the earrings.
They are the earpiece.
Okay, I want a pair.
Yeah, it'd be a lot nicer than these damn things.
Yeah, then I can record
You
everything.
can't see me either. And Obama, they showed that again. I don't know if somebody was showing it where he had got interviewed after Biden, I call him, because Obama is the puppeteer. Let's not forget that. He said fundamentally transform America, and Hillary was supposed to finish it, and put the knife in it. He is the puppeteer, and he says he would love to be in the basement in his sweats and be able to tell whoever is up there at the podium what to say. They finally got it right, and boy, was she combative the other night against Brett Baer.
We have an app now, Active Vote in Florida.
Who, what?
There's an app.
There's an app to vote in
There's
Florida?
an app. Active Vote in Florida.
It must be to register.
No.
I think registration's already
Vote
over.
in elections.
Oh, right. I'm going to have to look at the end of the show. What do we got here? We're down to like 3.5 minutes. Huh?
Yeah, we're at the end of the
5. We got
end
5
of the
minutes.
time.
Time to beat the boogie.
Yes,
Yes,
it is.
absolutely.
I'm kind of angry at you, Gregor. You weren't watching the clocks, and I expect you to yell at me about that. And I like when you yell about me about that. But I want to thank everybody who did tune in on Facebook. And as we said earlier in the show, you're at 65%. Quit and get out, or ride it. You know, doing good. Remember, I never bet a penny. It's always for entertainment purposes only. I do not have the express written consent of the DraftKings, FanDuel, NFL, written permission, blah, 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 blah. But anyways, we're sitting on 65%. I hope you're having fun. And if you actually do bet your pennies, I hope you got a couple in your pocket. And of course, as you know, I only choose the games that are in the Tampa market that are on local TV and free. I'm sorry, you said something there, Gregor?
Give them to us. Give us
I'm
the team.
gonna. if I do it the way I do it on Facebook, it's 2 minutes and 2 seconds, okay? And we're here at 56. I think I got 2 left. All right.
Well,
Give me a break, all right? Give me a break. But we got okay. Jesus, Grieger, thanks for throwing me off, you schmuck. I love you, my brother. Anyways, boy, I was flipping coins, didn't know what I wanted to pick. And this Sunday, here on local TV where it's free, NFL, if you want me to pay, I don't care. Same with Major League Baseball. You're making me pay to watch Championship Series, which it is on TV tonight, but it wasn't the last game. Anyhow, I digress. Houston, plus 2.5 at Green Bay. Boys, I'm tossing coins on that. I want to avoid it, but Green Bay, they're giving 2.5. Take Green Bay all the way. Philadelphia Giants. Boy, I know way I want to go on that, but I ain't touching it. I don't care if you gave me $1,000 to be wrong on it. I will not pick that game. Kansas City, San Francisco. Don't say that. Be nice. The Swifties are getting 1.5 in Frisco. And if you understand anything about the bookie, 3 points is standard for getting it home. So take Frisco, man. They're going to stomp them. They're going to stomp them. They're going to stomp them. And am I so blessed or what? Last week they were on local TV, but I had to go to the bar because I had no electricity.
Yeah.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are hosting the New Jersey Jets from East Rutherford, New Jersey, and that's a shout out for Matt Solly there. The Pittsburgh Steelers are getting 1.5. They won't need it. They are going to make Aaron Rodgers cry, get off the field, and call Robbie up and say, you got medication to share with me because he's going to fire up his doobie. I'm telling you, we went 3 for 3 last week. The 0 for 3 the week before was just getting used to the season. Bam! You're going to have it right now. It's 58 minutes after. I love it. It's on the radio. Next week, you will hear for sure. We will have important people. We will get more political next week. Thanks for listening. Remember, again, it's for entertainment purposes only.
Peace.
Peace out.
Good night, Florida.